Mel Kiper Jr. here. I always love that when he says it in the commercials. Mel has got his fourth mock draft, 4.0 out. This one's a little bit different. He's got some trades for the very first time, and it's 2 rounds. On today's show, we're going to run through every single pick that Mel has, give our thoughts, react to it, and more in just a matter of moments. Before we do, who's a player you want your favorite team to draft this month? It's getting closer. Who is somebody that comes to mind? Give me a name or two that you'd like to see on your favorite team. We'll get started with today's show. No surprise, Caleb Williams goes number 1 to the Chicago Bears, while Jayden Daniels goes number 2 to the Washington Commanders, and Drake Maye goes 3 to the New England Patriots. So it's all chalk so far, 1 through 3. Then Arizona, chalk continues as Marvin Harrison Jr. goes 4 to Arizona. But the draft really gets started with the number 5 pick as the LA Chargers trade the pick to the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings select J.J. McCarthy. Isn't that something? Jim Harbaugh ends up trading his pick for his former quarterback. J.J. McCarthy ends up with the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings get their guy at the quarterback position to replace Kirk Cousins going forward, and certainly shakes things up for the rest of this draft. Folks, that's a total of 4 quarterbacks in the first 5 picks. So, what do you think? Will the Vikings trade up for J.J. McCarthy? Type T for trade up, P for pass. Do you agree with Mel? I personally do. I think that the Vikings are going to trade up. I agree with Mel on this, that they'll do what they can to go get J.J. McCarthy here. What do you guys think? T for trade up, P for pass. Today's show is sponsored by LinkedIn Jobs. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many qualified candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to hire. Post your job for free at linkedinjobs.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. You can find people like me or Big Tex who chat sports hired. LinkedIn.com/NFL Daily. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. Number 6, the New York Giants go receiver. That's where we find Malik Nabers out of LSU. 7, Joe Alt, the first offensive tackle on the board from Notre Dame. He goes to the Tennessee Titans. Then the Atlanta Falcons at 8. They go with the star edge rusher out of Alabama, Dallas Turner. Very good pick for the Atlanta Falcons. That's going to be a team to watch in 2024 with Kirk Cousins coming in, that dynamic offense there. 9, the Bears. With their next pick, they go with Odunze, the wide receiver out of Washington. And then at 10, Brock Bowers, the tight end from the University of Georgia. Maybe my favorite player in this year's draft. The best tight end prospect we've seen in a very long time. He goes to the Jets, gets to play alongside Aaron Rodgers in New York to round out the top 10. So with that, we have a total of 4 quarterbacks going in the top 10. No Bo Nix yet. No Michael Penix yet. What do you guys think? How many quarterbacks are getting picked in the top 10? Put a number on it. I agree with Mel. I think the magic number is 4. Give me your predictions in the comment section below. We're going to be live for the NFL Draft here in a couple of weeks on NFL Daily. For the best NFL Draft news and rumors on YouTube, you got to subscribe to the channel as we are covering it like no one else is, bringing you daily news and rumors. We're also talking potential trades and signings, all of that and more. It's all in one place. You ain't alive if you ain't subscribed to Chat Sports. Join the family for the best draft coverage around. Subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did. Let's go to 11 now. This was the Minnesota Vikings pick until the Chargers moved down. They go J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle from Alabama. 12, the Broncos do not go quarterback. As instead of picking a Bo Nix or Michael Penix, they go with the fastest corner in this draft, Quinyon Mitchell, out of Toledo at 12. Then at 13, the Las Vegas Raiders, they go offensive tackle out of Oregon State, Talise Fuega at number 13. Then at 14, Olu Fashanu, the offensive tackle from Penn State, goes to New Orleans. And then Terrion Arnold goes to the Indianapolis Colts at number 15. 16, the Seahawks go offensive guard as Troy Valtanu stays at home. Played his college ball with the Huskies right there in Seattle. He joins the Seahawks offensive line that's being coached by two of his former coaches, Scott Huff and Ryan Grubb, come over from that previous staff. Then at 17, we call him the unicorn around here. You can probably guess why. Iowa corner Cooper DeJean, who some people think is the best corner in this draft. Mel has him going 17 to the Jags. Then at 18, Cincinnati goes Byron Murphy, the first defensive tackle off the board. And it's interesting with Murphy, his stock is kind of all over the place. Some people have him like Mel does, top 20. Others have him slipping to the second round. Then we go 19, the Rams with this pick. They go with Laiatu Latu, the edge rusher from UCLA, had a ton of sacks last season. The Rams could use the help on that defense. They're going to have to make up for the lack of production with Aaron Donald retiring. Then at 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers go offensive line. Graham Barton out of Duke is the selection for the Steelers at 20. 21, the Dolphins get some much-needed help on defense. They go Jared Verse, edge rusher from Penn State. 22, the Eagles get some help at corner, which they certainly could use. Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. 23, the Chargers go receiver. Remember, Mike Williams is gone now. Keenan Allen is gone now. And what we saw last year from Quentin Johnston wasn't great. They bring in, he is worthy, Xavier Worthy at 23 from the University of Texas. Good pick for the Chargers there. The Cowboys, how about them Cowboys? They get some much-needed help on the offensive line. Bit of a project for Tyler Guyton, but he certainly looks the part. Good pickup for Dallas at 24. 25, the Packers, according to Mel, go offensive tackle with Amarius Mims. Be very curious who goes first between Guyton and Mims. It seems very close between those two. And then Chop Robinson. How about this for a surprise? I was shocked about this from Mel Kiper, as when we started the draft process back in January, Chop was thought to be a first-round pick. Saw his stock slip where most people projected a second-round pick. Now he makes a comeback to the first round at 26 with Tampa Bay taking him here. 27, Darius Robinson, defensive lineman from Mizzou, goes to Arizona. And how about Brian Thomas Jr.? There was thoughts of him potentially going top 10 about a month or two ago. Instead, he slips up to the Bills, and they get their Stephon Diggs replacement there with the pick. Adonai Mitchell. He's a touchdown machine, folks. He goes to Detroit, and Jared Goff gets another weapon there to add to his arsenal with the 29th pick. Before we wrap up the first round, what do you think, Adonai Mitchell? Some people say first round, some people say second. I like Adonai Mitchell. I like him more than I do Xavier Worthy, if I'm going to be honest, comparing those Texas receivers. I think he's a first-round receiver. What do you guys think? Y for yes, N for no. Will Adonai Mitchell be a first-round pick? At 30, the Ravens go corner. Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. At 31, the Niners, they get some help on the offensive line as they go with Washington offensive tackle Roger Rosengarten. Then to round out the first round, the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a shocker. I would be surprised with this pick. They go Xavier Legette, wide receiver from South Carolina. Look, this is a great year for wide receivers. I don't know what Mel's thinking on that one there. I think Chiefs, there is a good chance they go receiver, especially with the new information on Rashee Rice, but I don't know if Xavier Legette's that guy. Let's begin round two as we have a trade. Dun, 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 dun. Carolina trades out from 33, and the New York Giants, they get a quarterback. Bo Nix out of Oregon. And what an interesting quarterback room that would be for New York. With Daniel Jones there, Drew Lock there, and Bo Nix as well. I got some concerns about Bo Nix myself, but him going second round seems to make more sense. Quinyon Coleman, the wide receiver from Florida State, he's a playmaker. He slips to the second round to New England. And then this guy just sounds like a football player, right? TJ Tampa, the corner from Iowa State, goes to Arizona at 35. Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle from Arizona, goes to Washington at 36. And then we have another trade. The LA Chargers trade the 37th pick to the Los Angeles Rams, who they share a building with, and bam, they go Michael Penix Jr. So how about a draft where Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers are just giving away the quarterbacks? They trade down and get J.J. McCarthy over to Minnesota. They trade down from 37 and get Penix to the Rams. That would be quite the move there for the LA Rams. They get their potential quarterback of the future to replace Matthew Stafford whenever he's done. 38, the Titans go with Ricky Pearsall, the wide receiver from Florida. 39, the Panthers go with Ladd McConkey, the wide receiver from Georgia. He's seen his stock rise. He had a great Senior Bowl. His numbers weren't great at Georgia. I know some people are talking first-round picks. Second-round pick seems to make more sense. 40, the Commanders go Max Melton, corner from Rutgers. 41, the Packers go with Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker from Texas A&M. And then, how about this one? This might surprise some people. Johnny Newton, Jerzon Newton, who some people think are going to go top 15. He falls all the way to 42 to the Houston Texans. It'd be a great pick for the Texans, but Mel, I would be surprised if he falls that far. We shall see. 43, the Falcons go corner, Kamari Lassiter from Georgia. 44, the Raiders go Enos Rakestraw Jr. from Mizzou. Some people have a first-round grade on him. I don't. I got some skepticism when it comes to Rakestraw Jr. 45, one of the most intriguing prospects in this year's draft, Malachi Corley, wide receiver from Western Kentucky, led the nation, folks, get this, in yards after catch. He's got some big playability there. That'd be a nice fit for that Saints offense. 46, the Colts go receiver, Troy Franklin out of Oregon, another weapon there for Anthony Richardson. Meanwhile, 47, here's a shocker. Jackson Powers Johnson, the center from Oregon, slips all the way to 47 to the Carolina Panthers. This would be their pick from the Giants trade earlier. I think Powers Johnson's the best center in this draft. I would be surprised if he falls. And we've seen value in that center position. Guys like Creed Humphrey, Tyler Linderbaum, and others that are worthy of first-round picks. Tyler Linderbaum was a first-round pick. Creed Humphrey should have been a first-round pick. Powers Johnson slipping, that's a steal for Carolina here. Almost done with the mock draft, but want to hear from you guys. Who's a player that will be a steal in this year's draft? Based on what we've seen so far, I'm going with Jackson Powers Johnson. That's the answer I have. What about you guys? Name a player that'll be a steal in the comment section below. 48, the Jags go Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle from Michigan. 49, the Bengals, with question marks at the receiver position about T. Higgins' future, they go with Roman Wilson out of Michigan. Well, the Eagles go Patrick Paul, offensive tackle from Houston. All Big 12 selection this past year. I like Patrick Paul a lot. I think that's a good fit there for the Philadelphia Eagles. 51, the Steelers get help at receiver. They go with the other Washington receiver, Jalen McMillan. While 52, the Chargers go defensive tackle from Clemson, Rook Orohoroho. That's a bit of a mouthful. Meanwhile, Jalen Polk, the other receiver from Washington, he goes to Philadelphia at 53. Braden Fisk goes to the Browns at 54. Christian Hayes, the offensive guard from the national champion UConn Huskies. Well, he didn't play basketball, but you get the idea. Jonathan Brooks goes to the Cowboys at 46. Coming off the ACL injury, kind of high for Jonathan Brooks. To be honest, I like the talent, but I don't like already having the ACL injury and trying to see what he does coming back from that. 57, Zach Frazier, offensive lineman from West Virginia, goes to Tampa Bay with the selection there, getting some help for Baker Mayfield and company. Meanwhile, at 58, Javon Bullard goes to the Green Bay Packers, the safety. 59, Mike Sandra Still, the corner from Michigan, goes to Houston. Cole Bishop, safety from Utah, goes to Buffalo at 60. They need some safety help for sure with Jordan Poyer gone. Well, 61, the Detroit Lions go with Adesanya Isaac, the edge rusher from Penn State. And the final 3 picks, here they are. Cooper Beebe, offensive guard from K-State, goes to the Ravens. The Ravens certainly need some help on their offensive line, particularly at the guard spot. The Niners go with Andrew Phillips, corner from Kentucky. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, to round out round number 2, go with Kingsley Suamatia, the offensive tackle from BYU. How do you think Mel did with his mock draft? There were certainly some surprises in there. I'm going to go with a B. I think that's a fair grade for Mel. What's your grade? Let us know in the comments section below, and we'll see you next time here on NFL Daily.